Welcome back, guys, to another motovlog. Today I'm just going to talk more about my house. Specifically, some of the recent improvements I've been working on. A big one I'm working on. And some not so fun stuff. We'll start with the not so fun stuff. My house is a single-story house with a finished basement. In the finished basement is my master bedroom and an attached bathroom. Because it's below grade, it has what's called a macerating toilet or macerating toilet. Think of a garbage disposal attached to a toilet. Grinds up the fecal matter in tissue paper and into small portions that can be easily passed by the pump and everything. So I go and it's not all that late. It's 6-ish, 7 o'clock. I'm getting ready to head off to bed. I go to bed early. And use the bathroom use the bathroom, take a dump, and go and flush the toilet. And I hear the indistinguishable sound of a motor stuck. Meaning that the macerator isn't spinning. Yeah. So, instead of going to bed, I grabbed my last pair of disposable gloves, a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a whole bunch of rags, and started to take apart my macerating toilet. It was less gross than I thought it was going to be. And the smell wasn't all that bad, which means it vents properly and stuff doesn't stay in there, so that's probably why it doesn't smell terrible. I mean, it smells, but it wasn't terrible. And I managed not to throw up, which is a plus side. But took it apart, ended up trying to move the disposal blades basically by hand, and it moved. It was maybe a little tough, but it moved and then started moving freely. I also ended up kind of lifting it a little, which might have helped clear out whatever blockage was there, and put it back together, and it ran. And it's run fine since then. Previous to this happened, I had ordered a cleaning product for it. So, like, if you know what CLR is, CLR calcium lime rust is a calcium lime rust remover used for harder stains to clean and stuff in bathroom applications and whatnot. They make a special version of that for macerating toilets that's safe for the toilet and will help clean up the crap that's in there, quite literally. So that was supposed to have arrived prior to all this happening, and the intention was I was going to use it when it arrived. It was 3-4 weeks delayed shipping from Amazon for whatever reason. Supposedly it's actually arrived today. Like, UPS says it's delivered. So I'll be able to pour that in and have that do its cleaning, but had that happened prior, I might not have had to go in and clean this macerating toilet. But that's the dirty one. The not so dirty stuff. Working on putting an air conditioner in my house. I've had 2 companies come out for quotes. A third was supposed to come out today. They rescheduled to tomorrow without telling me. At which point I talked to them over the phone, got a rough ballpark of their quote, and said don't bother. I got my first quote back on Monday. They want, for my house, which is 900 square feet to put in air conditioner, ductwork and everything, they wanted $11,500. It's like, oh, that's a bit much. I have not gotten quote number 2 back yet. Quote number 3, which were the guys that were supposed to come out today / tomorrow, he said they'd be about the same. So I've started pricing out to do the work myself. that is looking like for me to do it will be about $5,000. So I've all but decided I'm doing it myself. The final nail in the coffin, per se, will be what quote number 2 will be. If it's reasonable for what I get, I'll go with them. If not, I'm doing it myself. Which should be fun. Since making that kind of look, I've been looking into the parts and building a parts list and all of that stuff to get what I need. And I've learned quite a bit about air conditioners, and there's something I got to check when I get home about the one I'm looking at. If it's threaded connections to the condenser and whatnot, or if it's something that has to be like brazed or whatever, because that might add a little more cost to it. If I have to have it brazed, that means getting someone out there to actually do that, but I'm hoping it's threaded. I think it is. But it's not looking too hard to do. The biggest concern is the ducting, making sure you do that right. As I've been doing my research, I've been learning quite a bit about it and kind of the CFM you need for a given room and how that plays into the ducting you choose and all that stuff. So I've got a nice little sketch laid out of all the ducting that I need and where it's all going. And so I'm gonna hopefully finalize that later today and maybe start buying parts. My plan is to buy and install the ductwork first, and then buy and install the electrical and air handler. And then someone will come out and charge the system. So that's not too bad, but part of getting ready for that is last week I installed flooring in my attic. There's not a ton of flooring in there right now. I mean, there wasn't any before, but now there's basically a pathway that runs the entire length of my attic that you can walk on. You can't stand up, it's kind of a crouched walk, but it's there. Installed lighting for it, and so it's basically ready for doing work up there. So it'll be easier to run the ductwork and all that stuff, and I think it's going to turn out well and nice if I do it myself, and I'll learn a lot from it. But that's kind of what's been going on as of late, and what'll take my time up coming up soon is working on that project, the ducting being the bigger one. But that's all I've got going on, not much else. So I'm just going to call it an episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, and we'll catch you next week for another one. Thanks. Bye.